third down, red area focus today at practice. Wasn't as sharp as I wanted. I think we have higher expectations for ourselves than how we performed today. Certainly how we performed last week. Like I said before, our biggest opponent right now is Oregon. We got to perform better as our team before we start worrying about other teams. That being said, Eastern Washington certainly presents a lot of challenges. They have a really good passing attack. On offense, they challenge your eyes with double moves. They do a lot of good things. And then obviously they can run the ball and use a variety of personnel groups. So getting ready for them. We're not there yet. Still need these extra days of prep.
Dan, you were critical of the tackling last weekend. What have you done this week to feel better about that going into the weekend?
We're not where we want to be yet, but we've done a lot of tackling. Right? I think that's where it starts. Right? We tackle. You practice studying. You practice with a purpose. Maybe some of the same things you do before, but you do it with a level of intensity that's required. And I still think we have room for growth there. We have to be willing tacklers. You have to be contact tough, and that happens by practicing that in practice.
After looking over the film, was that the main issue? Is it just an unwillingness to tackle?
Not an unwillingness. It's not executing the technique properly. Right? Every one of our players want to perform well. Right? They want to do a good job. Right? There's a difference in wanting to do it and doing it. You have to take your weaknesses that you're not good at and work on it harder. Right? Everybody wants to do what they're good at. Right? I want to go to practice and practice catching the ball from a wide out. Right? Throwing touchdowns if I'm a QB. Right? What they don't want to do is practice things they're not good at, and that's what we have to do, is practice what we're not good at. And until we get good at winning on the perimeter from a blocking standpoint and a destruction standpoint, tackling in practice and breaking tackles in practice, then we're not going to do it in the game the way we want to do it.
Besides tackling, when third down and red area was such an issue last week and you say you're not happy with it today, what were areas besides tackling there that you want to improve on?
Yeah, down and distance awareness, right? Understanding where the sticks are and how we finish there. When you play man-to-man and you have to play, you put in a situation where you have to play deny the ball defense, we got to count on somebody to be able to cover their man. If they can't cover their man, we got to put somebody else in that can, right? Or we got to ask ourselves, maybe there's another defense that we need to be able to play. We have to do a better job in that. We got a great look from our look offense today. They did a really good job on third down. That's not where I want it to be. We're going to get better there.
Optimally, do you hope to have Ty play this weekend? Give him some opportunity?
All I'm worried about right now is playing the game. The only thing I'm worried about is winning the game. I want every one of our players to get an opportunity to go out there and perform. But it starts with just us going to play the game. I'm not worried about which guy gets in. What gives Oregon the best opportunity to win, period.
One guy we didn't see last week was Caleb Chapman. Was that just a coach's decision? Or
No, he's been dinged up in the end. He's dealing with some hamstring and hip flexor injuries. I'm certainly hopeful that we can get him back. He continues to stay, working treatment.
Gotcha. Didn't ask you about special teams since the game, Dan, and obviously Adam handled punts, and other than Bo's one, and Andrew handled kickoffs. How do you feel those guys did? Because, statistically, it's a couple of opportunities, but how do you feel those guys did execution-wise?
I don't think it was what I wanted. It's not where we want to be yet. Our kickoffs didn't get the depth and the hang time that we want. Again, the amount of opportunities were somewhat limited for those guys, but when it's, the one thing about special teams is it's one play focus. You get one play and you have to have an opportunity to do it right in that one play. I think those guys would tell you it's an area of improvement. At the end of every game, we grade ourselves. Did we win this area of the ball, right? Did we win our punt versus their PBR, our PBR versus their punt, our kickoff versus their kickoff return? We didn't win in that category. Special teams is going to be something that changes the game for us in the amount of time and effort we put in it. That didn't happen last Saturday.
Knowing that you guys play at home this week, have you been using that in any of your messages to the team to try and motivate them? What does that message look like, that, hey, we're going to play in front of our home crowd? Have you been kind of putting the pressure on them, like kind of saying, like, it's important for us to come and, like, win this game because we're playing at home, or anything like that?
I don't think I've mentioned it once that we're playing at home. I am excited personally to see our fans show up. Everybody talks about the experience at Autzen Stadium. I want to see that firsthand on Saturday. I want to see our fans out here because they can certainly impact our game. That being said, I haven't put any of the focus on that for our players. Wherever this field's put, that's where we're going to go play the game, right? It doesn't matter if there's 100,000 people watching or just us watching. We want to go perform when we play Eastern.
Just despite scoring 3 points against Georgia, what did you think of Kenny's offense? And
his play calling, and what do you think you guys need to work on and improve this?
Yeah, we had a lot. I mean, there's certainly some positives at times, but when you don't capitalize and get points, that's the ultimate goal on offense, right? So when you turn the ball over, when you don't finish a drive, right? We got in the red area twice and didn't finish with touchdowns. Those have to be touchdown opportunities for us. There's some good to take away. There's certainly a lot of areas of growth. I mean, Kenny and everybody else on offense will tell you there's something they want to do better than what we did this past week.
Are you guys using some of these losses or some of these practice mistakes you've had this past week to grow and learn as a team?
Yeah, we put it up there on the film. We grade it and coach it in front of the entire team. So when you walk out of the room, you know exactly where you sit and exactly what you have to do better. There shouldn't be any confusion in scheme, any confusion about what we're trying to accomplish on the field. The only thing that needs to be assessed is our performance within that call.
It's pretty seismic news on Friday. I know you guys obviously had a pretty big game too, but the playoff expansion and getting to 12 and obviously including access for the Pac-12 and all likely going forward. Just what are your thoughts on the future of a 12-team playoff and what that could mean for Oregon?
Yeah, I haven't put a whole lot of thought into it just because it doesn't affect us right now. I'm trying to live in the right now, but I think it's it's great to have opportunities to go compete at the end of the year, and it makes things important.
A couple of things also last weekend. We had a player collective start a couple weeks ago and a new collective start last week. How important to what you guys are trying to do, particularly on the recruiting trail, will these operations be? I know they can't be inducements, they have to operate within the law, but in terms of having thriving, fan-centric kind of collectives that can be more part of the process and help what you're trying to achieve here.
Yeah, I'm excited for opportunities for our players to go earn the most they can possibly earn. Right now, I would tell you that my complete focus is on our performance on the field, right? But does that affect recruiting? Absolutely. Does that affect our ability to get great players here? Absolutely. And does it allow our players to have an opportunity to be successful? Yes. And our fans to be involved. So I'm excited about all those things, but it's really, that's not in the forefront for me, and none of that stuff will probably be in the forefront until we get to February.
With Marcus Harper, what have you seen him kind of do to take advantage of this opportunity?
Man, just work. This guy brings a great level of focus and energy every single day to practice. He always has a smile on his face. He's always excited to compete. I don't think I've ever heard him complain, not once, about his situation, about where he's at on the depth chart, about what he has to battle or go through. I've never heard him say one thing. All I've ever seen him do is get up here and work. And when he's given his opportunity, take advantage of it. But he'll be the first one to tell you he has a lot that he can still improve on.
His versatility, just how much of an asset is to have a guy like that?
Yeah, I love having Marcus on this team. He's a big part of what we're doing.
And after some tough losses or end-of-season losses, there are teams everywhere who sometimes use those things as reminders, put stuff around the facility. Sometimes it's a key code to unlock a door or something. Are you doing anything with 49-3?
No, we haven't done anything. We've gone back and evaluated the film. I'm not really a big slogan guy. I'm not a big punch code guy. That's not me. It's about true assessment, exactly where we're at. Use it as an opportunity to see where we're at and then grow from it.
Then do you want one of those running backs to emerge as kind of a bellwether running back, or are you fine with the running back by committee approach?
I want to see us execute at the highest level at back, right? If we have 5 guys who can do that, that's certainly better than having 1 guy that can do that, right? So you get in a rhythm, you get in a focus within the game. If we have that, that's fine, but I want to see all our guys eat, right? And I think I've said it here several times. If you're good enough, you're old enough. I don't care how old you are, I don't care, what do you do in the game? That's what it's about. What do you do in practice equates to what you do in the game, right? If you do it in practice, it's going to carry over to the field. Appreciate you guys.